Richard, you know what does well on YouTube?
What is that?
Top 10 videos.
Our lowest effort videos.
And
Wonderful.
This is going to do so well. We're going to get so many new viewers. We're going viral with this one. We're going over the top 10 first lines in fiction, and you know who came up with this list?
Give me someone good.
Me.
I'm the captain now.
You came up with this?
No.
You wrote this article?
No, I didn't. This is an article.
I thought you were more successful than I thought.
Nope. This is a Guardian article, came out very recently in April, and they boldly claim these are the best lines in fiction, and neither of us have seen these. I saw the first one, actually, and I said, you know what? This is a good list, and
Okay.
I'm going to see your reaction on these.
I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. 1, it's the Guardian. 2, it's someone else's opinion.
3, you're Richard. All right, the first line, they say this is the first one that's the best in fiction, is from the book called There Are Little Kingdoms by Kevin Barry. The first line is, they say it takes just 3 alcoholics to keep a small bar running in a country town, and while myself and the cousin Thomas were doing what we could, we were a man shy, and these were difficult days for Mr. Keller, licensee of the North Star, Paris Street.
I mean,
That's not the line I read when I picked this article, by the way. I think I read the second one because that's rough.
that's fine.
It's fine.
Like, the best line in fiction.
This video's gonna suck.
Like,
That
oh my
was rough.
God.
And no offense.
This is going to be just a roasting video. I thought this
Yeah.
was going to be a happy, lucky, like, oh, that's a really great line. I'd be interested in reading that. This is going to go down a very different route than I anticipated.
It always does. I was gonna say no offense, Kevin Barry. Offense meant.
Offense meant, like, no, you can't hype up, like, the best lines in fiction and then come out with
Start
just
with
this,
that?
like, you know, lopsided, like, this lukewarm milk toast line.
Yeah. I promise you. So I read one of these. That was not the one I read beforehand.
Okay.
It must have been number 2 or 3 that I read.
All right.
So I want to see, because that was. Can we focus on that? How bad that was? It's not bad. It's just not the best in fiction.
Yeah, like,
That's a high
it
bar.
takes 3 alcoholics running a bar. Keep a bar running. Yeah, no, I mean, they're down a man shy. These are difficult days. Like,
Best line in. Okay, number 2.
Mhm.
This is not the. Let's see if this is the one I read. This is number 2. This is from the book The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. The line is this: no live organism can continue for long to exist under conditions of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream.
that's a good line.
It's way better than the first one.
That's a way better line than the first one. That's a interesting.
Is it because I said it with like just such a good voice?
No, it's good despite your reading.
Like the voice acting is what you meant was really good, but really sealed
No.
it.
What makes it really good is the fact that it survived your reading.
Just like this, the no living organism can continue to exist under conditions. Very
Again,
much like my.
You read it wrong.
I did read it wrong.
You read it wrong.
I read it right the first time. You got to give me that. I can't believe you're trusting me with
Somehow.
reading these off. That's
Hey, you brought it to me. But no, this is a good line. It definitely opens up the idea of a wider world, and just the whole idea of no live organism can continue for long to exist under conditions of absolute reality. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's a cool thing to think
pretty
about.
crap reading, though, in my opinion. It was
Oh,
really,
of yours? Yeah.
yeah. Do you think that deserves a top 10 list on all of fiction? I still don't think it's not like whoa. It's good.
It's good, but yeah, I'm gonna later bring up one of my favorite. I have 2 that are, like, I think best lines in fiction.
Oh, please do.
I
bring
at
those
least
up.
have 3.
You memorize them? You can rattle them off.
No, I'm gonna grab them off the shelf.
Okay.
But I have 3.
Okay. Number 3, by the way, on this list is the book The Butcher Boy by Patrick McCabe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think this is the one I read. This is the line. When I was a young lad, 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, I lived in a small town where they were all after me on account of what I'd done on Mrs. Nugent.
That's pretty good.
This is good. Also not the one I read. I'm so sorry.
It's a good line, but, like,
It's a good line.
I'm just wondering, where the hell are they going best lines in fiction? Like, where did this writer did she just pull random books off the shelf and go, that's pretty good. That's the best line in fiction.
They're running out of time. They had an
the
article
amount of
deadline.
fiction out there in the world, and that they're just pulling these out of their butt.
Man,
like-
this is really negative.
Honestly, I kind of want to do an article like that. I'm going to go to the local library. I'm going to go to the fiction section, pick 10 random books off the shelf, and then say, yeah, here are the 10 best lines in fiction.
Let's see how it turns out.
Yeah, I think it'll turn out about the same.
Oh my god. Okay, okay. Number 5 is the one I read beforehand.
All right.
This is number 4.
Let's go to number 4.
I skipped down to the article to see because I kept okay. But here's number 4.
Fine.
So this is from the book Perfume by Patrick Suskind. This first line says, in 18th century France, there lived a man who was one of the most gifted and abominable personages.
What? That is your best line? In 18th century France, there was an interesting guy. What the hell, Guardian? Like, oh my god, I thought I was kind of joking in the bit, like in the beginning, like going, hey, I'm skeptical because of the Guardian. This is just a disrespectful thing to the Guardian. Like, what standard did you actually go through to put this list on there? I need to do more research into this journalist because I need to see what else they've said so I can then go, got it. I believe the opposite now.
Is this worse than the Sanderson article?
It's getting up there in incompetence. Like, yeah, actually, okay, wait.
No, it's not.
To a certain degree, this journalist is doing a hustle. I get it. This person's collecting a paycheck. They're taking the Guardian's money, and they're just trying to get right below the line. Like, not ruffle any feathers, not do a lot of work. It's fine.
The book is very highly rated.
It can be a good book. Like, I'm sure it's a very good book. Best first line in fiction.
Okay.
No.
Here's what you've been waiting for. The number 5 is the one that
Okay.
I personally read beforehand, and I said this list was worthy. And you're gonna be rewarded. You ready?
All right.
Here's number 5. This book is titled Paradise by Toni Morrison.
A good book.
The first line. Wait, do you know the book?
I do know the book.
Oh, you do? Have you read it?
No, I haven't, but
So here's the first line. They shoot the white girl first.
that is a good line.
I want to read the book.
That's
now.
unironically
I'm
a very, like...
Look, why'd you have to specify it was a
Straight to the
white
point.
girl? Why'd they shoot her?
Why'd they
it brings
shoot
up
her
a lot of
first?
questions. And why'd they shoot her first? 3 questions in one. That is a great line.
That actually is a really good line.
Isn't it?
I'm instantly intrigued.
So let me fiddle around with this, right? Mm-hmm. If you saw that line, you scroll down and saw that line, you'd be like, wow, this is worthy of a list to show Richard on an episode.
No.
But you wouldn't?
I just wanted to disagree with you.
It's just
I
a
don't wanna
natural
give you-
reaction.
But no, it is actually a really good. I get your
Great
point.
first line.
Like-
I'm now intrigued with that entire book.
It's very good. I'm not sure that it's like best in all fiction, but it's certainly a masterclass in minimalism and just intrigue.
Yeah.
You have accomplished the whole goal of the first line in a book is supposed to grab the reader's attention right there and have them asking questions and wanting to read more.
Yeah.
That does it.
And that
Like, you can't not read the second sentence.
you have to know. And it's just what you're saying, the minimalism, that economy of words of you don't need to have 3, 4, 5 lines, which it can work. But
yeah.
you got us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 6 words, I'm asking 3 questions. That's incredible. I think that is worthy of a top 10 list. I could see that being in there of just how much it
top
does.
50.
Okay, I can't wait to hear your 3 at the end.
Oh, I'm bringing them. I'm bringing the receipts.
Okay.
Here. I got 3 that'll be better than everything on this list.
Well, you know what? Speaking of receipts, our sponsor is Displate. Did that work?
You got to get better at those.
That did. No, it's
Speaking of receipts of the things that.
Speaking of receipts, you are all going to have a receipt after you buy some disc plates.
That's better.
That's our sponsor of the video today. They sent us that. They sent us more. Check out all these awesome things.
You guys get if you use our link in the description, you get 20 to up to 30% off your disc plate. And honestly, they're really nice. I have them in my office at work. Easy to set up with magnets that won't scratch the paint off. You can actually easily switch and move them around. You don't have to actually worry about leveling anymore, which I had to do a lot before. Now you just kind of pop it on there, adjust, and you're good to go. They have some great designs on there. Check them out.
Yeah, great art. You could get Lord of the Rings, Stormlight. We have our own page at displate.com/tutorramble where I hand selected them. And even better, Richard had nothing to do with the hand selection, so you can trust
That is true. Don't go to that site. Just use the link.
Just use the code. Just use the code to Ramble, whatever. All right, back to the list. Are you ready for number 6?
Yep.
I have no idea what the rest of these are. Number 5, that's the line I saw, and I went from there. So number 6 on the best list here is High Fire by Eowyn Colfer. And the line says, Vern did not trust humans was the long and short of it. Pretty good.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Pretty good. Were you about to be a little negative? I saw you kind of teetered there.
I'm just thinking like best in fiction, and that it's such a high bar to stand. Like it's
a high
fine.
bar.
It's a fine.
It's
first
better
line.
than most of these on this list so far.
Yeah, it's still not better than. She shot the white girl. They shot the white girl first.
That's a great line. Okay, we're gonna skip right by it. Then it's fine. It's a fine line.
Fine.
I think it's pretty good compared to the rest. But you're right. If it's that bar is the best of fiction, that's a tough bar. Now number 7 is Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby.
Okay.
Related to Bill Cosby, actually.
You don't have the same fictional riz that I have.
What?
I can make
That's a new word?
I can make you believe just about anything with the sheer confidence and my way to give across a point. Somehow you always believe me when I'm lying straight to your face. You can't do the same.
You don't believe that S.A. Cosby is related to Bill Cosby?
No. It's all in your face. Your face, you just don't have the lying face.
Well, let me riz you up with this first line. You ready? I'm gonna get some riz in the voice. Okay.
Oh, God. Ike
tried to remember a time when men with badges.
Sorry. That's. I'll try and keep that for off camera.
I actually might cry.
I can't believe I need a bucket.
I actually might cry. That was so like in my peripheral. I just see you like vomit. I don't know why that was so funny to me. Okay.
Here, let me try one. I'll try reading.
Okay.
Off this,
Yeah,
okay.
Please.
Right. Ike tried to remember a time when men with badges coming to his door early in the morning brought anything other than heartache and misery. But try as he might, nothing came to mind.
Decent line.
But best in all of fiction? No.
Damn.
It's fine.
What a disappointing.
Just
a disappointing.
No, this is ultimately just disappointment as an article. Like, I want either really bad or really good, and this is all like just fine.
Well, here's number 8. Number 8 is the book My Absolute Darling by Gabriel Talent. Now, this first line says, or do you want to go again?
I'll go again. The old house hunkers on its hill, all peeling white paint, bay windows, and spindled wooden railings, overgrown with climbing roses and...
You screwed up! In your face!
And yet somehow it still sounded better than whatever you do.
And somehow, when you screwed up, I was like, it's probably still better.
It's a minor flib with the tongue.
No, you know what's more embarrassing is you messed up, and I embarrassed myself more by going, So I think you still win in the end. It all goes back to you.
That tends to how it works, yeah. I tend to always win in the end.
Just no matter what I do, it just crumbles.
Hey, no matter what everything else, it always evens out for me.
And you know what's even worse? I forgot the line already. I was so focused on you screwing up that word, which was what, roses? Okay, we're going to number 9. Whatever. We're not even acknowledging that one. Number 9 is I Know This Much Is True, the book I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. Now, how about this? I read up to the first comma. Every comma we switch. You want to try that? Make it interesting?
You make things way too complicated.
Let's do it for fun.
That's not fun.
What?
That's weird.
We're not having fun?
Just read it.
Okay. I hope it's a gloomy book because that's the voice I'm putting on.
All right.
On the afternoon of October 12th, 1990, my twin brother Thomas entered the Three Rivers, Connecticut Public Library, retreated to one of the rear study carols, and prayed to God the sacrifice he was about to commit would be deemed acceptable.
It's a good line.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I think putting on the gloomy tone actually made that line better. Just give me that. Just
sure.
Yes.
You can have a win today.
One freaking win. That's all I need. But that's a good line.
No, it is.
Again, another good line. I'd say that's the second line in here where I would read on.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like just from the first line, and the other ones, of course, you'd read the back of the book, figure it out. But from just first lines alone, that is a worthy one. If I go, ooh, tell me more.
Yeah, exactly. What does he mean by the Like, it could be darker. It could be even taken in more lightly direction of all the time he's sacrificing to study for something.
Right.
Yeah, like it could go one or two ways, but it'd be interesting.
You don't know. It's a mystery there.
Yeah.
All right, the 10th one. You ready? Because then you're going to give your...
This is supposed to be the best.
Yeah, then, well, you have your better ones, supposedly.
Yep.
Prepped. Okay, here's number 10. Waiting by Ha Jin. So the book is Waiting by the author Ha Jin. Here's the line. Every summer, Lin Kong returned to Goose Village to divorce his wife, Shu Yu.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That is good. Wait, that doesn't make sense, and that's what makes it make sense.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's intriguing.
Every summer, Lin Kong returned to Goose Village to divorce his wife, Shu Yu. I think, again, the key to these first lines is where you have one simple sentence where you're asking a lot of questions. So every summer he returns to divorce his wife again. How does that even work? Now you're asking a bunch of questions. Do they get remarried? Is that just, what is going on there?
It puts immediately into my mind of like, is Lin Kong like in some type of more urban area and he has to return to Goose Village. He has to return to his home countryside to divorce his wife again.
Right, you're asking where is he from? What is the Goose Village?
Where is he currently at?
Where is he currently? Why is he divorcing her every summer? That's a great line.
That's a great line.
This Guardian article, what do you give it out of 10? The whole article.
A 2.
A 2? You got to give it a 3 because 3 lines got you.
No.
What?
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
All I'm asking for is a 3 out of 10.
Abysmally.
3 out of 10. Just give it that.
No. Gets a 2.
Give my voice acting, what do you rate that?
You don't want that. I still need you to edit videos.
It's that. All right, tough guy.
Yeah.
What's your books you want to pull off the shelf?
All right, I'm gonna go get them. All right, in ascending order of its superiority.
Okay.
Are these the best lines in fiction in total? I'm not sure. I can say confidently that all 3 of these lines are better than anything in that article.
Even the white girl line.
And maybe the white.
That one is so good.
That's up there. It's good. I still think these are better.
All right, rattle them off.
First, from Red Sister, Mark Lawrence's first book of the Ancestors. The first line.
I do know this one. It's great.
This line actually did get me to read the book.
All right, what is it?
It is important, when killing a nun, to ensure that you bring an army of sufficient size.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That's a fantastic line. That brings so many questions of like, when killing a nun, why do you have to kill a nun? And they go, you must bring an army of sufficient size. What are these nuns?
What?
That's a wonderful first line.
Yeah, fantastic line.
Now, the first line
here we
in
go.
every book from the Wheel of Time
Yep.
starts like this. The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. In one age, called the Third Age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose in the mountains of mist. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings to the turning of the Wheel of Time, but it was a beginning.
Yeah, wonderful. What do you want me to say, huh?
It's wonderful.
What do you want me to say?
It adds just so much majesty and grandeur to the whole story, and
what it does best, it properly sets up your tone for the story going forward.
Definitely,
yeah.
It you just know like this whole story of taking place of multiple times, the almost futility of the never-ending battle and fight, and then just ends like, but it was a beginning. It just reminds me of the next line.
Of course.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit.
That's the best first line in fiction.
That's a great line, and it's one of the best lines in fiction. The fact that it was written on the back of back of Tolkien's student's essay that he was writing, that he just saw a blank space and was like, in a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. And that's where his book started.
That's amazing. That is honestly one of the best first lines ever.
Are all three of these lines better than what was given to us from the Guardian article?
2 of them.
You just want to be stubborn about Wheel of Time, don't you?
I have a surprise. Though.
I also cheated. That was many sentences there.
I was going to say.
I just read the whole first paragraph.
You did? What was the actual first line? Well, you missed your chance because I have something.
Okay.
So I want to also shout out at the very end here. This book called Soul Fraud. You'll notice it has a not for resale because this is a book we were sent by Andrew Givler, who is Sigils. We interviewed him very early on in the pod. And we read his book, interviewed him. I forget what episode it was. But his first line, I want to shout out and just show how bad the Guardian article is in comparison. This is his first published book ever. And here's what it says. They say the devil is in the details, but I met my first demon at the movies.
That's better than your...
This self-published book, and mind you, well written for a self-published first-time author, destroys those. Except for 3 of them. That I want to know about. I want to know why Lin Kong's divorcing his wife. I want to know why the white girl's getting shot. And I want to know about the library and what he's doing. Other than that, let's get to 3 out of 10 for me.
Thank you for disappointing me.